What on earth is Starmer playing at?
Well, being in opposition is a lot easier than being in government, Patrick. But being in opposition gets tough when you start laying out policies, which Starmer is now doing, presenting himself as a Prime Minister in waiting, and he's got the poll backing to do that, fair dues to him. But he's laying out policies, and different parts of his party and the electorate are starting to get a bit narked. This green agenda, net zero, it's very much for the sort of lovey section of the Labour Party, the graduate classes in the university towns, people that might vote Lib Dem instead of voting Labour. They love all the net zero stuff, but the unions don't like it. The GMB, the second biggest union, third biggest union in the country, Unite, the second biggest union, they've both spoken out, in particular against Starmer's policies to ban all new investments on North Sea oil and gas. Why? Because we need North Sea oil and gas. 75% of our energy is still oil and gas. Half of that we generate ourselves. We import the other half. But mainly because 200,000 people work directly and indirectly in the UK oil and gas industry, and they're generally well-paid, skilled and semi-skilled blue-collar jobs, if you like. So Starmer at the weekend had to take brickbats. You had Sharon Graham, who's the leader of Unite, comparing Labour's policy of ending North Sea oil and gas investment, banning it outright. She said it will be like coal communities in the 1980s when the Tories just shut down coal pits across Wales, Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, Yorkshire. Massive political fallout. And then you also had the head of the GMB saying that Labour lacked intellectual, robust knowledge when it came to the oil and gas industry, saying that we're the GMB, we've been doing oil and gas for 130 years, you should listen to us, your policy is wrong. So Starmer went to the GMB conference in Brighton, it's going on today, and he gave a speech, and in that speech he tried to dodge the question, I'll come on to that, of this ban on North Sea oil and gas, but he gave the union some ideological red meat. He said he wanted to create a publicly owned company called GB Energy to take care of consumers and their energy needs. This is what he said.
Because we're Labour, it is a plan for working people, their jobs and their prosperity. We will create a new company, GB Energy, and through that vehicle we will take advantage of the opportunities that we have. And because it's right for jobs, because it's right for growth, because it's right for energy independence, then yes, it will be publicly owned.
So there you go. Does this add up, though? On the one hand, Starmer is saying to his party, to the country, that he wants to end North Sea oil and gas investment, even though the Climate Change Committee, the sort of government's cheerleaders-in-chief for net zero policy, they say that we're going to be using oil and gas until at least the late 2030s. And Starmer, in his speech today, said to the GMB, we're going to be using oil and gas till, quotes, far, far into the future. So we're going to import all that oil and gas in a world where there's very little energy security.
And who does that make wealthy?
In Iraq, it makes overseas oil and gas companies wealthy. It means the exchange rate gets weaker. Look, it's not easy doing this. Starmer has to appeal to both, as I said, the kind of university-educated classes who might vote Labour, but also to the working and blue-collar classes who might vote Labour. He's trying to keep it as vague as he can. He's sort of dancing on a pinhead. Oh, we won't ban all new oil and gas investment, but this is what happens, and there's going to be more of this as the general election approaches.
Liam, great stuff. As ever, Liam Halligan, our economics and business editor. That, trust me, is seriously one to watch.